Pretty legit, bud. Alright, folks. So, what we're going to do in this stream today is that Animostiy and Tazzie both have this video on their end. So, what we're going to do is this. So, as we go through the entire video, we'll be talking about our thoughts and impressions, and we will open this onto the open table for the entire community to share your thoughts about the whole thing as well too. So apparently AT Scope is in love with the flu. I don't know if that's a thing, but that sounds legit.
Why not?
I mean, like, that sounded like awesome, dude. But that's okay. The ship giveaway is on. So all 5 ships, the giveaway is on officially right now. So how does this work is that the 5 ships will be given away towards the end of the stream. So now we are now officially on the Waterline video page, and it's going to be done. Okay, so there's a lot of things covering here, but I have to say that from the World of Tanks stream we did have I did spend a little bit on this, so yeah, it's a bit of an interesting story, but yes. Alright, here we go.
More back to the roots, more historical events, more historical modes.
More content, more mechanics, more ships. Just go at full speed with no limits directly to your target.
So that's our philosophy. It touches almost every corner of the game.
You forgot the most important thing.
It will be a new type of a gameplay.
You want vampirism? You'll have it. You want super speed, hyper speed? You can have it.
Oh my god. The ships will be removed.
Yes, the ships will be removed.
Yes, the ships were removed.
Greetings, captains. Welcome to our Belgrade studio. I'm Awesome Tide, and today we're going to talk about the future of World of Warships with our amazing guests. Guys, can you do the introduction?
Absolutely. Hi, my name is Chris. You might know me as Chrysanthus. I'm the regional publishing director for World of Warships in Europe. And I'm super happy that we finally get back to providing you with information, what's to come in World of Warships. Slightly different format than we used to do before. More of like an interview style. And, sharing the context that we have for the game. And this is also why we are more than usual. Our first additional guest that we have today is actually Stacy, who's head of live operations. What does that mean? It's actually the department that brings all of the cool events and activities to the game. And as an extra guest, we also have DMC. DMC, what is your department working on?
I am a game designer. We work on concepting, designing, implementing new mechanics and ships, and maintaining and improving old ones.
Okay. Now that we've introduced each other, let's outline the goals for this year.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to say, welcome aboard, Shin. It's good to see you, mate, and all that.
Shinzy. Hello, Shin.
And welcome everybody those who just joined in. So, okay, there's a lot of things, we're going to be covering about this video. So sit back, relax, folks. This is going to be a bit of an interesting podcast moment for us to share this with you all. It's going to be pretty cool, just getting covering all these topics. Let's see what we're in for.
Now let me catch up on this. So, in general.
Sir, Dominion ships warping in.
Why, hello there, Vamps.
Mother mercy. About time we kick this revolution into overdrive. Feels like old times already.
Thank you very much for the raid, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Alright, come on in, everybody. Okay, so back into the video.
There are several guidelines that we would like to follow through the all 2025 year, and it reflects in several points. So the first one point is that we would love to give the players more ways to play already existing ships and create new tools to play future ships. And also, in general, we will continue evolving PvP because this is what we get used to doing, and introducing also new ships with new mechanics. But because we see a lot of excitement regarding PvE and all of stuff around, so we would love to dive more deeper this year into PvE and to basically work there with more wider experiments. And also because it's 10th anniversary for our product, we would love to go more back to the roots and introduce more historical events, more historical modes, and basically introduce more various historical themed content in our game through the whole year.
Okay, and one more.
Well, that's actually interesting when they say this sort of thing, don't they? I mean, like, I don't know.
Butter my biscuits and slather it up with gravy.
Hey, what's up, Disco?
One of the most handsome men from Australia is
I have
here.
to say,
Let's go
you know,
ahead
like,
and
just by
welcome
listening to that for the
Disco.
first few minutes of the video,
Amen.
it kind of like implies that they're trying to, you know, like the game is 10 years old. They want to return back to the roots. More historical events and stuff like that. Does this mean that we have like historical like battles or storyline like operations based on historical events? What do you think?
Back to their roots. So that means we get rid of some Brains and aircraft carriers?
Maybe, I don't know.
Our topic.
Yes, it is. We didn't forget. We will do severe work this year, for sure.
Okay, great. I think Chris can share the general attitude for us this year, how we want to approach things and how we want to...
Well, you think it's possible they're actually returning back to asymmetric battles?
Chris
I said a lot more PvE versus PvP. PvE would be
best this year. How we want to...
Yes, that's right. Chris Freak, what's up, man?
down, wash that lane! Do you get me?
Make sure you jump to the giveaway by !Revan for all 5 warships they'll be giving up on the stream today.
To approach things and how we want to share them with you.
Yes, we wanted to just get across to our player base how we approach things in 2025. Thank you for summarizing generally like the directions that we want to go in. There's one big challenge that we have in general with a game that is now this year. We're celebrating 10 years of World of Warships, which is a fantastic, date. Crazy that it's been for already such a long time. So many of you have been with us all that time. And while we've been adding more content, more mechanics, more ships over all these years, it means that the game became significantly more complex. Not only for a new player who might now enter the game and there's so much to do, but also for a seasoned player who has to keep track of all of the ships, the mechanics that we have, and we still want to bring new ones. So we're changing our approach and how we want to bring these into the game, test them and verify them. Maybe DMC, you can share a bit, how the approach will look like in 2025.
Yes. The general thesis is...
Why did you say that?
He's saying there's more mechanics involved for someone new coming to the game. There's always mechanics and something new to do.
That's right. Yeah, that's
even
right.
for older players, there's always something you got to constantly keep track of. Which ship you're grinding, what line you're grinding, what event you're grinding. There's always something going on. It's like you don't get a chance to play the game for the game these days. You got to come in and get that event done, this event done. Do your dailies, do the bloody help me here, Revan.
The consistent grind of like just to get ahead of that sort of thing.
Now we've got the you do your daily thing, so you get the steel and all that.
Yes.
So you keeping track of that. The games has gotten too grindy over the years. There's always something going on you got to get, like dockyard, then next dockyard, then next dockyard, then this event, then that event. You don't get the chance to take a break and go, you know what? I want to play a few.
So
just chill, not grind. We'll have to grind.
Yeah. So what you're saying in a different way of saying it is that you felt like the game is more pay to win than actually play to free.
No, it's not play to win. It's becoming more of a task in the game because you got to keep grinding this, that, and the other to keep up with everybody else.
I've
stopped.
Yeah.
I've stopped doing dockyards because I can't bother anymore. I've lost interest in dockyard and any new ship that's there. Because seeing if each one dockyard to the next one, and I've just gone over. It's like I don't care anymore. I'm sick.
That's a good point to discuss all this with Wargo. We all had one tab open for just about 2 days. Wow.
This comes back to something I put into our clan Discord for you, Rev. We look at the regions types of games. You know, let's look at
Tell your friends we're coming for them.
versus say an American game. They're going down a very European path of doing this, which a lot of people like in the United States, Oceanic, North America, we're not used to that. Like if you go play a Korean game, for example, it's very, very grindy.
Yeah, exactly.
We look at, we'll take Blizzard, for example. They changed their path to become more pay-to-win type of games. Let's look at the Diablo line. This is where gaming is now going, is more down this, you pay for small things as you go along. Essentially, the game's...
Tell your friends we're coming for them.
After you content.
Oh, we're getting lots of
exactly. Hey, Easy Geezer, what's up, man?
Do something about this, come go.
This is something I had said with my friends.
I'm tempted to go for another Citadel, see if we can get 5.
Make a whole new game at that point. What clan? I understand where you're coming from. That end of the day, war games got to pay their bills, and they will pay their bills because everyone's going to buy a premiership. Everyone's going to buy the balloons. Everyone's going to buy stuff from the store. That's how they pay their bills.
Yeah, exactly. And the Star Trek gameplay and rewards was nice. Yeah, that was a good one. I liked it.
It's the constant dockyard after dockyard after dockyard. You don't get a break between dockyards. It's like you finish one dockyard, next thing you know, there's an update, another dockyard. It's like, why do I even bother?
I mean, like, how many dockyards were released in 1 year? About what?
God, 3, 4, 5.
It was 3.
It was 3. So was it every 3 months or was it every 4 months?
They're banging at each other's heels, so they're like this is like one after the other.
Yeah.
And let's just look at the last one. The last one, especially that last section, was so grindy that a lot of people just didn't finish it. No, I didn't finish it. And if you've got multiple accounts, unless you're on there basically 8 hours a day, you've got no chance.
Yeah, exactly.
I stopped doing them. I'd log in to play the game for one reason. For me, that's a bit of fun, just to play the game back around. And now I'm finding more and more these days, I'm bypassing randoms, I'm bypassing bloody co-op, and either going to operations or asym if it's there.
Yeah, the free ships in the dockyard are nice. Yeah, fair enough. I think that there should be more protection for miners, as they are also confronted in chat with things that don't belong there. What can we do about this? Are you referring to like different languages and stuff like that have been said in game chat and things like that, AT-Scope, if that's what you're referring to?
Well, yeah, possibly. The free ships in dockyard aren't free. You still got to buy the balloon packages to finish them now. That was cheeky when that came in.
Yeah.
The first few dockyards were completely free. Every single stage got you the ship.
Yeah, well...
It's only, about 6 dockyards ago at Wargaming and said, you know what? You want to finish your ship? Buy the balloons, buy the stages. And to me, it's a blatant cash grab for something that they knew people weren't going to get. And I went, you know what? No, I'm not. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll take your rewards from your dockyard, sure, but...
To answer your question, AT-Scope, the answer is yes. You can actually disable in-game chat to prohibit that sort of thing for your miners not seeing things in-game chat. In all seriousness though, I mean, like, if you're referring to that, you can definitely turn it off, because like half the stuff that's in the game these days, it's, let's just say that World of Warships, in terms of the toxicity level, it's not as bad as World Tanks. I mean, like, I have to give it that. World Tanks, if you don't do something right or whatever, I think you score most of the time and gonna get absolutely hammered by somebody for it.
Oh no, I say the NA server's a bit salty in World of Warships.
we want to limit them by time. So we introduce some mechanics or specific ships. There will be one global mechanic and several sets of ships. They will be introduced in a certain version and inevitably removed. The first time we will do it is in 14.2, and once the version of 14.6 ends, both this mechanic and these ships will be removed.
Let me catch up here regarding why we are doing that, because yes, as you said, we have almost 10-year-old product with a lot of legacy and a lot of stuff that we already produced. And in general, we want to care a little bit more carefully about what we are doing and what we are putting permanently in a game, because as you said, yes, complexity increased over by time. And that's why we want basically give us room, a space where we can just put out mechanics, ships, any other game designer ideas that didn't pass the test of time. And basically, if something was very good, players liked it, we might take it out and maybe reintroduce in the future events or in the future as a permanent part of the game. Overall, this approach will give us opportunity to
yeah, check can be quite quick.
Specifically, check some stuff or generate more interesting various events with opportunity to go back if it's needed.
Yeah, so I guess this is our training ground, the ground for experiment.
Yes, but of course we do it in a careful way. And we'll get into the details in terms of what we have actually mapped out step by step that will happen throughout, roughly, as you said, from 14.2 until the end of 14.6. Can you describe a bit, maybe starting with the global mechanic that will be introduced, what players can expect from that?
The global mechanic that we'll have in our game is classified documents. People that played the game and the last year and specifically...
Actually, hold on a minute. Let me just ask this question about the classified documents. What is everyone's view about the classified documents, chat? Come on, chat. Hit me with it. What was your view about the classified documents? This is something that I'm curious about. What is everyone's view about the classified documents? Animostiy, Tazzie, your thoughts?
You want to go first, Taz?
Yeah.
Overcomplicated. Too overcomplicated.
Was it really needed though?
No, it wasn't. I didn't see the point for it. I didn't see the need for it.
In a game that's already having balance issues, you're bringing in more issues that it's going to cause more balance issues, because we already play 1 to 2 tiers in difference unless you're playing clan battles. So if you've got say tier 6 versus a tier 8, the person that has that classified document in a tier 8 is a lot more powerful.
It seems like some people are not needed. This is my fault. Why mention there's a classified document?
Yeah, it made no sense. Like, why was it there? What purpose is supposed to achieve? I mean, if you go back 10 years, let's wind the clock back, people. Come on, Uncle Tazzie, back to the days before dawn.
Oh boy, this is going to be
3,000 years ago, we were
All
there.
right, everybody pull up a chair. This is going to take a while.
It's story time, Uncle Tazzie. Back in the day, mate, we had 3 types: cruisers, battleships, destroyers. And the game worked. You had a Cleveland. If you had a Cleveland, you knew you're going to shoot down planes. Carriers wouldn't go near you. Destroyers were sneaky, stealthy little buggers. Battleships were your big sluggers, and the game worked. Over time, more mechanics crept in. Things got nerfed, things got modified. Now the game's turned into, I wouldn't want to say a mess, but overcomplicated is probably being a simple version of explaining what's going on right now. They need to start dialing it back. Just get back to basics.
Yeah, okay. Let me just fast forward. Let's just play this a little bit more, see what they say.
The D-Day event are already familiar with it. the gist of it is you have
Did you walk out of
an entity,
yeah?
you equip it to your ship, and you become stronger
You said
against
like the
another
classified
entity.
doggers were
We
okay
want
for the
to
operation,
bring this
but
feature
should
back
be in the random
and
call files.
significantly expand it. Firstly, because it will go out of D-Day and come into our regular modes. It will come into random battles, a singular season of clan battles.
Okay, I'm dead set against this because in terms of these certified documents or what they call it again, I mean like the certificates or whatever they're called, what they called it again, these documents, what they say?
Classified.
Classified documents, okay, let's go classified. I mean like classified documents in terms of random battles and clan battles. I'm dead set against this because of two things. One, let's just be honest. That when it comes to the general gameplay in World of Warships on the PvP scale for the lower tiers, there's no such thing as, you know, like you get these all cool buffs and things like that. And when you were going to progress from tier 8 onwards, that when we had that mixed game mode session, like you had like convoy mode and you had airship and also a couple other things along the way, you had some random perks or even that random battle where you had what's a game mode that you had like, you know, these random buff drops around the place. What's that thing called again?
Arms race.
Arms race, thank you. So basically when you have that sort of thing, I felt like in arms race and things like that, arms race was fun, but I felt like I was cheating. Yeah, arms race was fun, but I felt like I was cheating the system. I wasn't really enjoying myself as such.
Yeah, but in saying that, Rev, arms race is a temporary buff. Removed from your ship at the end of the game.
Yeah, what's it called? These classified documents going to be? Are they permanent?
Yeah, they stay with that ship. So in that game mode.
Yes.
Because when they're in D-Day, you put it on the ship. It stayed with that ship in that game mode for however long the event was there. It was permanent.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
arms race was temporary buff. At the end of the game, it was removed. You're back to normal. Move on.
Yeah, exactly right, and that's why I just felt like, you know, it wasn't really necessary to have it to begin with and stuff like that. So it's just like, oh come on, you know, like why, you know? Clan battles, I'm definitely clan battles. I don't like it. I don't like this idea.
That was as bad as the clan battle season. The bloody minefields.
Yes, thank you. I mean, like I do remember that one. That clan battle season with the minefields was like, was it necessary?
No.
I mean, like, was it really necessary? I mean, like, I felt like I felt like at that time when I was doing it, I felt like I was more involved of taking more care of myself, focusing more on myself than actually focusing on the actual battle and the game itself. That's what I was thinking. I mean, like, I felt like I was doing an operation, but I'm doing a PvP operation. And basically I was actually getting my ass kicked at the same time. And there's two, like, as much as I love, you know, MMOs in generally speaking, like in Warcraft or or Guild Wars and things like that. Remember when you have, like in different MMOs, that you have different, you know, like abilities to cleanse, abilities to debuff, abilities to freaking, you know, like run like hell away from the team and come back or stack up and shit like that. It just felt like in warships with the minefield, for example, we had to use ASW, fucking depth charges, to blow the shit out of it just to clear it up the area so we can move and do things. Then there was other things that was not necessarily needed. It's like your attention is diverted, you know, from doing your usual cruiser battleship destroyer gameplay to be focusing more about your teammates than rather be focusing on the actual battle at hand. And so that's how I felt. It was just like annoying. Mine. Yeah.
This
mate.
Go ahead, Animostiy.
This idea does have some merit. And I mean, I just
Of course.
had a quick look. They're talking about, like, you know, a single season where you do it not being in there evidently for every season
Right.
of more battles. So, I mean, you could look at the way they're presenting it is not a great idea, but the idea has merit. It needs a way to be less broken, because if you look at it, everything's cookie cutter, so everyone's going to go for always the best classifieds, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And that's where the problems begin.
You like the American Clone Wars disco? Nice one, mate. Yeah, sorry about that, Musty.
So get rid of the idea of cookie cutting everything and make it in a way so you have more choices with all of this, like a tier system in some way.
Exactly, 100%.
Like you look at other MMOs that had like World of Warcraft, for example, the original tier where you could go down and create your own character, and you had 30,000 different ways of doing things, or 10 different ways, I should say.
Yeah, exactly.
But then we go back to the original controversy in World of Warships.
Yes.
When they first introduced radar. And didn't that cause an absolute uproar? And all of a sudden, destroyer players were being blown out of the water because all of a sudden you make see through smoke.
What made you say that?
All destroyer players were up in arms over it because all of a sudden radars kicked in out of nowhere. He's got radar, and we're all been blown out of the water. When radar was first introduced way back in the day.
Yeah.
My argument back then was, yeah, okay, cool, you're bringing in radar.
Right, okay, of course.
But why can't we make it a bit more authentic? Such as your radar can be knocked out by gunfire.
Yes.
To make it a bit more interesting, instead of you now have a game where you go into a game, especially from Tier 8 upwards, where you're playing a destroyer and you go against teams got 3 radar ships. You're constantly detected. You can't be a destroyer anymore.
Yeah.
You're on the run. Back in the day, in the actual realm of World War II, some ships knocked their own radar out by firing their own guns. For God's sake, why can't Wargaming go? Okay, seeing they like to be a bit more historical, have that function where if you can, as part of your battle damage, heavy radar put offline.
Well,
it would make the game a bit more, entertaining and a bit of a balance, especially for the destroyer players who are either constantly radared or spotted by aircraft.
Interesting.
Destroyer players do have a raw deal these
and
days.
operations with flagships.
Is it working the same way for all of these different modes, or is there a different?
No. Of course, there's a difference. There are different things we want to achieve in each.
Good points right there.
It's actually interesting when they actually mentioned that their operations with flagships will come back at some point as well too. I mean, what was everyone's opinion about the operation with flagships, guys? I mean, I have to say that some of us, bragged and joked about how much damage you can produce with operations with flagships, but did everyone like it or hated it? That's the question I have to ask. I mean, did everyone enjoy it or hated it?
I don't think I really played it.
As a player that has only been in this game since July, hated it. It was an awful experience. It's like to get knocked out in 10 seconds by one of those big ships.
Yeah.
It's and you can't learn from it because every time you go in there, it's just the same thing. I mean,
you would, can I?
It's do the same thing over again. It's like madness, but it wasn't a pleasant experience.
Yeah, the only thing that was never considered was the influence of the weather and the battles of strong waves, and would make you more nerve-wracking. To be honest with you, I mean, we actually wanted to see better, bigger waves, and the cyclone weather, if they made the cyclone weather a bit more intensified, it'll be more and more interesting.
I can see where AT is going with this. I understand his logic because
I like it.
Because in the game right now, if we do have rough weather, okay?
Yes.
You're still doing 32 knots in the destroyer.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, in the real world, you would not be doing 32 knots in the destroyer.
No.
And in the real world, your shots not be stabilized and accurate as they are in the game. You'd be going up and down the
It's
pitch and
not
shots.
realistic at all. I mean, like,
I can see where he's going if weather was a bit of an influence to put your shots off, because you got to account for the pitch and trough, and your speed's cut because you got to account for making headway in weather. It'd be more interesting.
Yeah, true.
I mean, going back and looking at how they've done distance, and you got the reticle that gives you your distances and stuff when you look on the map and all that. You're adding in a lot more complexity of how this game.
Don't go down that road.
Yeah, you're just wandering down the rabbit hole way too far of complexity.
If we go down that road, Disco, if we have accurate P2 radar, you're picking up reflections and targets from the waves. You're trying to figure out which is ship and which is waves, and then you really dig your head in.
Well, here's the thing. Look at this. I mean, like, this is the wave. This is the storm video that was released years ago in World of Warships. I mean, like, obviously, this is like the beach is like all sand, calm, and it's all nice, and it's all. But look at this. Look at this. Watch the waves. Watch the ship going up and down, like absolutely rocking it. I mean, like, it's just taking a while. Yeah. Hey, Thundra.
Yeah.
But
and you say, and this is where it makes it more interesting with having submarines, because submarines love that weather. They're under the water; it's not affecting them as much. And boom, a lot of you see like in movies all the time it's rough weather, and you got submarines just blowing other ships up.
Putting all those things is bad. Yeah, I can see the problem with it as well too. But like subs would have a bit of a benefit with this. Like look. Like, for example, there is one game. There is one game that I used to see many years ago, and I played it. It was called Silent Hunter. Now, Silent Hunter, even if you had it on expert difficulty, for example, you still wouldn't have this intense weather such, but your periscope will be very wavy. You'll be dealing with a lot of mechanics in between to try and deal with the compensate what you have to do. But I mean, like, it's just there's some things you can avoid, and some things you just can't. But like look at the guns that are firing on the of the like the waves is rocking it, and I just feel that it's not exactly. The idea of the cinematic has merit, but yes.
But
just not see some more storms in game, just for sheer variety.
Another function for the anchors will be perfect that you can actually turn quickly. Well, okay. Now you might.
Thank you, Pirates of the Caribbean, for giving us that wonderful fake turn. And Battleship. Thank you for that one too.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, let's just be honest though. I mean, like, at the beginning of those movies, and with that being said, like having dropping the anchor at full speed, for example, and deliberately kinking it and then forcing the ships to steer, it was a bit like far-fetched, I have to admit. But
the ship will not turn. If you drop an anchor at full speed, you're more likely to snap your anchor chain.
That's the thing.
I think we've.
Think of someone who's dropped anchors. Don't do it.
I think we went a little off topics, and now
yeah,
on just like
really
great game ideas.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens when they say next.
Tolerances for disruption in each of these modes. So, in random battles, we want these to be more similar to signals or upgrades. In clan battles, they will work differently in that in other modes, you can select the intelligence documents once you enter the battle. So you can choose the opponents for which you target. But in clan battles, you have to choose it before. So it turns into a kind of mind game of what ship will the enemy pick, which intelligence document will they pick in turn. That will be that. And as for operations with flagships, they will be targeted specifically at flagships, and interestingly, they will evolve over time.
Speaking about the field of experimenting also, it's worth to say that we will have a time period that DMC has covered from 14.2 till 14.6 including, where the features will also develop by time of actual patches to be delivered. Why? Because first of all, we will taking the feedback from the production and adapting, and secondly, it's also for us an opportunity to see what we can add more and what we, for example, should remove, for the second iterations. And besides that, this is touching different things. DMC mentioned the classified documents, which will actually have different leveling system, which will be introduced patch by patch. For example, in 14.2, we will drop PvP, PvP, yes?
Random battles and operations with flagships.
Thank you. We will drop that one. And then in 14.3, we will have a new layer of upgrading for operation with flagships. Why? Because when we are looking on this feature, I'm speaking about operation with flagships, look at it as the danger. When you are coming in, you have a bosses, and the feature by itself will also evolve by time, so we'll have new difficulties coming up each patch, and each patch you will have a new level of progression, the classified documents, which will be used for these bosses against more efficiency, so we will just by time have replayability and opportunity to get more experienced.
Okay, I want to clarify. This upgrading system, first of all, doesn't come immediately, right? It comes only in 14.3, and it's also only for operations with flagships.
Yes.
The classified documents available in random battles and later in clan battles
they will be given out to players at their full potential immediately.
Yes,
so everybody has access to it, right?
Yes.
There's no differentiation between players.
That's why it's a global mechanic. So that's our philosophy, that it touches almost every corner of the game.
And from what?
Okay. What is your thought there?
My head hurts.
Animostiy?
So what they're saying is, okay, let's take the classified document system, which had everybody annoyed and confused in the first place.
Yeah.
Throw it into another game mode that everyone's going, well, this has been a right pain because of flashback being just killing us off the bat. To play over and over again to make that same classified document get more points each time we play it, so we're adding more level of complexity and annoyance to try and improve a classified document that seems to have no initial help at the start until you get up to higher levels against the flagship. Yeah, this makes sense.
Why do you think this is going to be messy? Disco, in all seriousness though, what you just said there, I actually felt the same way too. And look,
Mate, we're past messy.
I mean, let's just be honest here that in any patch for not just World of Warships, let's just be clear about this. Hey Hog, how you going? My thoughts, do these people even play the game? Chrysanthos does, but maybe not as much like we think. Everyone says they do, but I don't know. I have reservations about how they say they do, mate. But look, to be fair, I mean, this is the problem that I find with this game at the moment, is that when you have a roundtable discussion, I mean, the way I feel is that, they're coming up with ideas, they're saying what they're going to plan to do, and it's great. However, I know Chris Santos does play the game from time to time on the live stream, when he's doing the live stream. I don't know about the other three, but I can say that I don't know.
I think Awesome Tide does.
I don't know if they do clan battles or anything like that. I'm curious. It's got me thinking, but at the same time, it's just weird, man.
Yeah, Shin.
You have a round table. Yes.
Oh shit! I mean, like that's gold, but I mean, like that is a round table right there. Well, it's not really round, but circle, but
it's oval.
It's an oval style. I mean, like I have to say, I have to applaud you for your critical analysis. What the table should look like. That's good, man.
And Shin comes in with some high quality intelligence there.
Yeah. It's awesome, mate. Good on you. Dictator says, like, cause you have to choose the classified docs before battle blindly. It's just increasing random luck range, yeah. More maths and astrometricals. You know, like, I love astrometricals. Astrometrics is great.
What they should, asymmetrics is fantastic. Asym's good fun. I reckon what they should do is just, you know what, drop all this new patch stuff they're working on.
Yes.
And let's just go back to basics. New maps, new scenarios. You know what we should have?
Easy things.
New campaigns. You got the campaigns there, like Yamamoto or Halsey. Let's have an actual campaign that starts off in
Absolutely. I mean, like, I would love, love for some of the basics.
45, and you got to play the ships. Like, if you start at 41, you got to play tier 5 because that's how the war started. So you get 45, so you play tier 10.
Boy.
On historical battles like Leyte Gulf.
We've been talking about that for ages.
Battle of the Coral Sea. Guadalcanal.
Solomon Islands, yes.
Not the scenarios they give us. Let's have the actual battles. Like,
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
You can set up Battle on Sever Island where we hit against Australian, American, Japanese cruisers. Let's just get back to doing that kind of stuff. That's what we want.
Exactly. Sensuke, good to see you. How you doing, bud? Animostiy, your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, it just comes back to what I was saying, like, about, the tier system. I mean, I just saw the comment about, the classified before going in, but that's what makes it interesting. You're making decisions before you go into the game. So, having a system where...
Nice.
Yeah, like you know what's going to happen, don't you?
Go on.
Everyone's going to do that first, okay? The first three or four clan battles, everyone's going to be picking blindly.
Mm-hmm.
And then the community...
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
And then they'll all start choosing the same one.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying about some sort of way to get rid of the cookie cutter. And yeah, that is a very hard question because I don't know any game that actually does it.
No. And like I said, you gotta choose blind before you go into a match. And everyone, once they figure out which are the strongest documents, everyone will be choosing that same document, guaranteed.
Yeah.
On both sides. So it becomes mute. What's the point?
Yes, it is, Tazzie.
Yes, Scott. I am here. I'm still alive.
Yes. Sorry. And Mostly's in the background as well too. So yeah, Mostly, you were saying?
Yeah. They also mentioned like the leveling system through it. So it's like that's the only thing that in that sense that kind of slows it down. So and that's where the power creep kind of gets different because everybody be at like different things. But once you've got it leveled to max, you're spot on the money.
AVS, I actually agree with you that statement. They're just trying too hard which is making it too complicated when the players want the simple things like new maps and asymmetric battles. I mean, like, there's so many stuff on there.
Exactly. As I said, just get back to basics. Give us what we want. New maps, new scenarios, new campaigns.
Well, first step, let's just be honest. Let's just go back here. Okay. So hear me out, and you can shoot me later. Well, not literally, but we judge each other later in the back in the ballpark, and we're talking about later have pinata and all the rest. Anyway, okay. The pinata event. I mean, like, let's just go with this. The pinata event. I mean, like, last year we had that pinata event. I swear. I mean, like, that one there was fun, except I hated it because of the extra mechanics on there. MTN. How you going? Good to see you, mate. And hey, T3H White Wolf, good to see you. So
Got his ass!
he got his ass all right. So Pinata, I have to say that with that game mode, the amount of damage that you could rock up on there was fun, but the extra mechanics, like for example, that destroyers could deploy a random airstrike, or you have CVs or something like a battleship or cruiser, I couldn't remember, or we had a variety of choices, like you can deploy smoke, you can deploy an airstrike, you can deploy mines and things like that, and I have to say that it was an okay event, but it was frustrating. Even though I have to say I was enjoying it a little bit. It drilled my head in. I mean, like, all I remember was like fancy colors and, ooh, that ship looks cool.
It did my head in, but for different reasons.
Bring back the ducks. Quack, quack. Oh my god. Nasty. Okay. Nasty had
the bloody
ducks. Okay, we have watched the Mighty Ducks way too much. The duck event was actually good. The hot tub stream of Warships, the ducks was cool. I mean, like, let's just be honest. The ducks, for a change, was okay. For one event, one patch, I have to say it was okay. I mean, like, that was good.
That got out of control, the duck thing at the end. I was not happy.
Well, okay, let's just be honest and be clear. We're not going to have a go at anyone about the ducks again. But let's just move on from that. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the waterline. Let's get back to the waterline. But you know, like the whole thing, like what Wargaming had done over the years, including all these different events and stuff like that, it was okay. I mean, like, I have to admit though. Yeah, it was good. It's different.
I couldn't see those ducks alive from me. They turned on me.
I have to admit, you're not alone. I mean, like, you're not alone. Folks, for those who just tuned in, we got 5 warship giveaways going back to back. So jump in, ! Revan, get your messages in and everything as well too, okay? So let's go ahead and move on a little bit.
When the upgrade will be introduced, you won't
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
Right? You will get a bunch of them from, like, I don't know, from 1 to 4, and then later we will introduce more.
Yes, we will introduce them by patches. So in 14.2 will be dropped first parts, and then layer by layer till the end. And also for upgrading these classified documents, you will need a special currency, which you will be able to obtain through missions. That missions has the ideology that if you play in operation with flagships,
there it is.
you earn it easier. If you play in basic mode, you will also earn it, but longer, because we do understand that if you're playing at specific mode, you want faster to progress in it.
Just to clarify, that's for operations with flagships. For random battles, on what tiers will players be able to interact
Commander,
with that
you've
mechanic?
received a new message at your private terminal.
Tiers 8 and above. Any players that go out into a battle in a tier of 7 or lower will just not interact with it. They will not have access to it, and they will not be affected by it directly.
And of course, the access level to the feature overall for new players will be not immediately when they start of the game, because it's gradually
That's
open.
it. I'm playing 7.
Okay, so, I'm getting to the gist of it here. So, there's so many new currencies that's going to be into the game. It's going to get to the point that, you know, like, you're trying to, I remember, like, this problem in World of Warcraft. I remember this issue in World of Warcraft. The problem with World of Warcraft was that you had so many currencies and tokens and, like, okay, so you have your gold currency, right? So you have your gold currency for you buying your items and trading and the usual flying and stuff like that, okay? But the other currency tokens I'm referring to is that, like, in different zones and different locations, you have different tokens to trade in items, to acquire, like, gems or buffs or, you know, like, rewards from vendors and things like that. It just feels like that World of Warships is heading into a similar direction.
My question is, There's currency you need to earn to buy the classified documents to update them.
Yeah, that's a concern I have. That's a concern I have.
Can you buy this currency with doubloons?
That's a good question.
Because you can buy all your other currencies for events with doubloons. Like at the moment with the events on now, you can buy X amount of that currency with doubloons.
What do you think, Animostiy? What do you think, chat?
So I get the feeling that the point is that the uni comes.
Yeah.
I don't know, random thought like, we're at sea, can we just go trade the currencies for like, different other currencies at a shipyard or something? I don't know, just the comment of too many currencies.
There's too many currencies.
Yeah. And I mean, you look at like all the when you first come in, like the different crates and stuff, and you get little rewards for doing like all the documents and all that. Like, there's just so much to already do.
Build your own ship event. Yeah, I know, right?
There's just so much to do with currencies already.
When they're going to add more campaigns, I think it's going to be in stages, isn't it? I mean, like, if I'm led to understanding that this version of 14.2 onwards to 14 point whatever it is, I can't remember what the end version was, but yeah, 14.6. I think it's that like they're doing every single patch or something like that. It's just
they're dropping because of documents each patch.
Yeah. Even this patch, you get the token, which you can trade for no token to... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. MTN's right there.
Get new campaigns, and I'm with him. When are we going to get a new campaign?
Yeah, I mean, like, I would love a new campaign. I mean, like, let's just be honest. In World of Warships right now, I mean, like, we got a bit of a handful of campaigns, right? So let me just bring up the game real quick
I would love
for all
to
of us.
see.
Yeah, go on.
I mean, Wargaming does this Waterline with all their heads of whatever departments they are.
Well,
I'd love to see a Waterline that's done of a selection of fans and then compare the two.
How?
Because I'm guaranteeing you, if you put fans, a group of fans together to talk to Wargaming, they're going to say, yeah, your mechanics are nice and all that, but here's what we actually want. Wargaming, you're like, but we'll give you all the cool toys. Don't give a shit. Here's what we want.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, there's an overarching theme in the chat, and everyone's saying it. We don't need classified documents. We don't need new mechanics. We just want updated new content that we want to enjoy, campaigns.
So,
missions.
is this the campaigns you guys are referring to? Like, these are the campaigns I've just shown here, like the Science Victory, 5 Epochs?
Yes, but they're the originals. They came out with the game, how many patches ago?
Yeah, okay, so this game is 10 years old. I'm going to say this very much so that, like, with the campaigns you got there, I mean, like, if you...
They came out about 8 years ago.
Yeah, so all these campaigns, if you have, for Christ's sake, I mean, like, if you have done it by now, I mean, like, to be honest, it's nice to redo them, but, I mean, like, at the end of the day, you already completed it. Like, you can't get multiple Yamatos. I mean, like, heaven forbid, if you are able to get like over 5,000 Yamato commanders in this game, I mean, like, you're doing something great. But but the thing is that the good thing about it is that all these tasks that you can see in this game can be repeated, like multiple times if you wanted to. But
you don't get rewards for it though.
That's right. I mean, like, the thing is, though, that, just by looking at this, if you've done, like, the way I see the campaigns at the moment is that if you've already done it, just basically they've hide them away, automatically, and then basically you get a bunch of 5 new campaigns, and then basically they can be focused on, say, for example, one could be Guadalcanal, one could be on freaking... Atlantic Sea, Ocean, wherever it is, and like at random, or another one can be at like Leyte Gulf, or even like Iwo Jima, or even like the Bismarck campaign. Like for example, if you wanted to change to have the official commander, hey IBY, if you have the official commander for the Bismarck on the actual campaign as an end game reward and the camo for it, then you can do it that way too.
I'd love to see more content brought in. Like, we've got the standard maps. They haven't changed in how long?
A long time.
Operation hasn't changed in how long?
Well,
there is so much more material to work with. I mean, for example, people are saying we want more weather. Like more fog, more storms, more atmospheric.
Yes.
Well, wargaming, there's this whole thing called the Battle of the Arctic, where you had convoys going from London to Russia. You had ice, you had snow, you had fog, you had storm, you had air attack, submarine attack, E-boat attack.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, don't tell me there's some like a fun operation or PvE where you're fighting all that through an ice pack to get your ships up to the convoy destination.
Exactly.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
Not this. They're thinking we want and need developing. Yes, the game's 10 years old. Yes, it needs a bit more updating, but give us what we actually want. Update the content, not the mechanics. Mechanics are fine. They work.
Well, we'll see in a second here. Hang on, we'll see what's going to say now.
I do have a couple of more questions about the classified documents.
Yeah, exactly right, ABS. Exactly.
Randoms and clan battles, I guess. We don't need to unlock them in like some kind of grindy way. You just have them.
You just log in and get them in.
Listening to, because you look at the direction they're going and what we hear every day of what people want. It's where are they getting all this information on what we want from, and who are they getting it from?
The spreadsheet.
Well, that is the dreaded topic there. I mean, like, I don't know, like, I cannot assume or guess or, like, be led to believe this, but it's just like, for example, when you hear from a World of Warships stream, like, or any other streamer who has, pointed out what this is going on, like, you see, like, some statistics and things like that going on, that's fine. But the thing is that what I don't understand is, like, was there an actual survey surrounding this? I mean, like, I don't remember seeing one.
It was brought up probably about 7 years ago.
Well, that's a long time.
And it got all the CCs together, because I watched Jingles and his video about it, and they're all put into a room.
Yeah.
And they got shown an Excel spreadsheet from data that they've taken from watching people in the game. And then from that, they were working out what the game needed next.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're being driven by an Excel data spreadsheet.
Hey, Pogs, thank you so much, mate.
Extrapolating data from what the game was telling them, from what they saw on an average player base on an average day.
2 months, UWU. Tell your friends we're coming for them.
Yeah.
It hasn't changed much since then, I think.
Yeah.
What? Huh?
The most hilarious thing we ever saw, like, seriously, this is what you're using to get your game ideas?
Exactly. Hey, going, folks. Thanks for the resubscribe, bud. Thank you. Much appreciated, mate. Much appreciated. All right, let's continue on a little bit further. Hold on. Sorry.
And also, if, for example, in random battles, if you don't know how to put them or you don't want to care about it, it will be just auto-pick.
They will be picked automatically. If it is a burden to you, you can just not interact with the feature completely.
Okay, and about how they work, another thing I could immediately think of, do they stack?
They do, in a sense, as in if you go into a battle and there are 5 Shimikazes and you pick a classified document against Shimikaze, it will apply to all of them. But to balance this out, if there are more than 1 copy of the ship, the effect will be lowered.
Okay. Lastly, just wanted to confirm they are just personal. These apply applicable only to your ship.
The effect is exclusive to the interaction between your ship and your target ship.
Okay.
We will move on then to experimental ships, and some of the players seeing this will already see in their matches the cruiser Metz, Vesma, and the battleship Oregon. This is the first set of experimental ships. They have 2 new experimental features. First of all, it is limited ammo, not gold ammo, I would say. It is a limited pool of ammo, like a consumable, that is significantly stronger than your conventional ammo. But once you run out, you have to switch back to your...
And what's this?
Okay, I almost had a heart attack when I heard that. You know, like, this reminded me of, like, Red Alert World Tanks.
Oh my god, I'm glad he said not gold ammo.
I almost, like, flipped when I heard that. I could not believe it. Like, I almost fell off my chair. I almost felt like I died inside. What was everyone's reaction to that? To Mossy? Everyone else?
Limited ammo. But what do you mean by a certain pool of a certain type of ammo? What's that?
Wow.
This is where I'm a bit too new at this game to...
Yeah, pay to win ammo. Yeah.
That's a good question. Are you buying this ammo? That's another good question.
Like...
Yeah. What do you think, Mossy? Hard to tell?
Pay to win, you know, it's...
Yeah.
You're already buying a lot of stuff in that damn shop.
Yeah.
Legendary modifications. It's just the next step in evolution of this game.
my question is, if this ammo is not an ammo that you buy, it just comes with X amount of this particular type of ammo, that like a consumable, okay? So it's like any other consumable in the game, like your radars, use 3 times, done. So I'm tipping this pool of special ammo as another consumable.
Yeah.
How much will it cost you post match when you go to restock your ship? Is my question.
Let's just be realistic. It can be quite expensive. I mean, like if I'm thinking what they're thinking, like if they're trying to talk about like the special ammo, are they talking about like the balloons? Or are they talking about like a large sum amount of currency? Of it.
The way you said it, it sounded like it was a consumable. So when you use it like a consumable, this special ammo, whatever it does.
Yeah.
And then at post match, when you get your ship gets restocked with that post match deductions, how much will it cost you? I mean, is it going to be as bad as running a super ship, which most people don't run these days because the cost of provisioning a ship after a battle is too cost prohibitive. I mean, they installed super ships. Let's call them what they are, tier 11. That's what they are, tier 11. But only those who are gaming 24/7 or Unicums play them because you can't afford to restock them after you play a game. You don't even make enough credits to warrant playing them because of the post-game cost.
Yeah.
Is this going to be the same with this so-called ammo that your cost for the consumables will be so through the roof that you might drag out this ship once in a blue moon because you can't afford the cost is going for your post-game?
Yeah. What about you, Mossy?
Yeah. Tazzie's.
Tell your friends we're coming for them.
How big old Joel? How you big old injury?
They're mentioning all this stuff, but they're not like mentioning the knock-on effects.
Time to go!
And it you know, once again, we're talking about a system where it runs on a currency. You know, how's the all currency stuff going to work behind all this? More questions than feeling this is like a alright idea.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, how's Big Old Intro? How's it going, guys? We got 5 warship giveaways back to back, folks. Exclamation mark Revan. Make sure you get in to win it. I'm sure that everyone is going to be loving it once they get it together, for sure. But anyway, let's just go ahead and just check this out and going forward a little bit more further.
Say, once you ended the battle, the post-battle cost service is the same, just for any type of ammo that you would have.
Okay, so we can think about it as like charges of consumables.
Yes.
Okay.
I should continue then to the second feature is fight or flight. The gist of it is the less HP you have, the stronger your ship gets. So in these specific ships, the lower your HP, the more accurate your guns and the faster your reload on those guns. We will also have a second set of these ships. Those will be focused on secondaries. So we know people love secondary ships, so
how can you not? Come on.
They will feature an impressive set of secondaries in their base mode, but as their HP goes down, they become really fearsome secondary platforms.
And in what modes can you actually use these ships?
All modes. They are available.
Okay, so not just...
Yeah, I agree with that statement at MTN. You just pointed out the very good point there. Giving away tier 10 ships to new players as a gift in December was a terrible idea. Yeah.
And they did actually answer the cost. It would be the same costs as normal ammunition.
Did you hear what I said?
What's that?
Did you? These new secondary ships?
Let me rewind it a bit. Hang on.
There's the less HP you have, the stronger your ship gets. So in these specific ships, the lower your HP, the more accurate your guns and the faster your reload on those guns. We will also have a second set of these ships. Those will be focused on secondaries. So we know people love secondary ships, so
how can you not? Come on.
Commander, you've
they will
received a
feature
new
an
message at your
impressive
private
set of
terminal.
secondaries in their base mode, but as their HP goes down, they become really fearsome secondary platforms.
And in what modes can you actually use these ships?
All modes. They are available.
Okay, so not just event ships. And you can use the classified documents against them, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
So these features is actually combined to each other. And also, as we said before, that, for example, classified documents is evaluating by time through 14.2 till 14.6. Same actually with the sets. Why? Because we will drop first set at the beginning of 14.2 and it will leave till 14.6 including. And the second set we will drop somewhere in the middle of the summer in one of the patches.
You know, we're going further.
Officer on the deck!
Steve Pyatt 2024 is now following.
So far, 2024, thanks for follow.
While playing.
Yeah.
All I can see is people taking these new secondary ships, speccing them out so the secondaries are absolutely strong, and then building them so they're absolutely...
Tell your friends we're coming for them.
Getting the HP knocked down to near nothing, and then going nuts at secondaries.
What's up, KGB? Good to see you. Long time no see, man.
The glasshouse build. That's all I can see people doing. Oh god. Walk out.
Yeah.
Go home, you're drunk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not too bad, KGB. How's things with you, mate? KGB Terminator, folks, is an artist in World of Warships side of things that he likes customizing skins for ships in the game. Go hit him up one day. He might hit you up with give him you a nice customized skin at some point. Welcome back, Scott Cockney. MT says that the idea of giving people ships for a temporary event and then taking them away is weird. I have a lot of ships already. Why do I need 10 ships? Honestly, it's like it's a good way to bring things and take it there and then get rid of it as well at the same time, though, in return.
Could this come back to like the CC things, like, you know, species get certain benefits and, you know, like that, where it's now a chance the players kind of get those.
Yeah, exactly.
As well.
Yeah, exactly. Hoghammer says like does hell of a job as well the skins. Yes, he does. Is this one calling all the shots and we're good? I honestly don't know about Stacy.
And it will live also till 14.6. So simultaneously there will be existing
take your time,
two sets.
KGB. It's all good.
Yes, that players can see in battles and also obtain.
Are they consecutive? That you unlock them after each other?
I mean, like if KGB Terminator did something about like a hot tub ship, that'll be a different story. I'll leave it alone.
So the most important question that people will have is how do you actually get access to these ships?
We would love to give it this way.
Oh, really?
To open the ships, you will need your common resources that we already have in the game, for example, credits. And also they will be needed to have a special currency, let's call it progress points now. And that progress points are...
So you're talking about Stacy here, Scott Cockney? Is that the one you're talking about? Or are you talking about Autumn Tide? Which one?
Another currency. Another currency.
I mean, like, that currency right there, that threw my head away in the wall in the moment there for a second. I mean, like, that's just, like, unreal. How many currencies we've just gone through right now.
Here's this new cool ship that's going to be a nightmare when people build it for a glass.
Attainable also via
Stacy.
Just playing our game simply. There will be special missions where you just take it and then you use it in this feature. Worth to say that the amount of, let's say, grind around it is regulated by sorts of things. So first of all, if, for example, you're a casual player, you will be able, by your casual activity, to try all one set through these 5 months. If you are a high active player, of course, we have a philosophy. If you play more, you get more fun. So that's why we will give an opportunity to try both stats just by amount of time that the second one is living, only for active, high active players.
And if I may, it is one of the challenges actually for a game that has been around for such a long time, and with the very different kind of players that we have, that
you just call
there's
it a lady.
a set of players that might play the game very casually, there's a set of players that is playing a lot, and we're trying to find a good balance between still providing access to players who might not play as actively but still would like to try it, and players who play significantly more and might probably be more interested in trying these, new mechanics and interactions between ships.
Let's put it like
Crazy
this.
idea. Just make the game as it should be.
Well, the funny thing is, though, as just Chris Santos just put it out there, is that they're trying to, balance it out to, like, the top end players as well as those who are in the middle and those who are just starting out. So it's kind of like all over the place. Well,
They've just come out and blatantly said, yeah, hi, we know you play casual, here's a set for you. But for you guys who we love the most, because you play guys all the time and buy all like doubloons and all those stuff and keep giving it thing, here's some really cool stuff, plus an extra set because we like you.
it's
How
like,
much of the stuff is aimed at the active player who plays every
who has
day,
fun doing
day
missions?
out,
I do.
4 to 6 hours.
I do if I wanted to, Frizz Freak, and if I wanted to, but yeah. Greenhorn. Hey, Easy Fan. What's up? Welcome back.
I do operations all the time.
Well, we're watching Waterline.
I've stopped playing random. The sheer
Yes,
random
so
just
if,
lost
for
it.
example, in the middle of summer, you will just come and you will see all of that. We do now.
ATScope Talks says that she talks about the whole time about a desire for everything to be free. Is that right? Well, we're hoped to be, because, like, look, World of Warships, when it first came out, was and has been introduced as a free-to-play game.
Yep.
Now, the trouble is, though, with free-to-play games is that... Hey, Tragan. Yeah. Well, I mean, like... let me put it this way. I mean, like, free-to-play games reminds me of that movie that Ready Player One or something like that, the Steven Spielberg movie. The reason why I'm thinking Real Player One, funnily enough, I'm thinking about it here, is that you have this game, it's free, you have it there, right there, but the people in the background have decided that they want to change this game to be spamming a message here, a message there to buy things all over the place. It's just like, wow, that's crazy. I mean, like, this is like, I'm feeling that it's, I hope it doesn't come to that at all in Warships. Chegg reviewed the Waterline. He mentioned it a bit. He also explained why he couldn't limit radio range on carrier planes, similar on the tanks. Yeah, limiting all radio range would take it that's away this new confusing CV play rework. Yeah, true.
Consider actually to have a small boost for everyone who comes later. Just to catch up.
I agree with that.
Because we do understand that the mechanic is limited time, and we want just for you to have fun, and that's why there will be such opportunities also to catch up somewhere in the summer.
But I have to ask a big question. The ships will be removed.
Yes, the ships will be removed.
So the next question is, what do you get for playing with them?
Not only the fun on playing on the ships, of course, also rewarding, because we do understand that you put time on that. Of course, you earn economy as of playing on ships. Secondly, there will be special missions for the ships that you will play, and you will get also some stuff. And after the all event is ended, they will be rewarding. The rewarding will be based on how many ships did you take and how much time did you spend on that.
Basically on your activity that you had
so
with these
basically
ships.
just on activity.
And what kind of rewards can players expect? Can we maybe share a bit? What type of rewards?
I will be short here. We are thinking about the themed cosmetics and resources. Resources will be applied, but not the typical one like credits.
Okay. And the way it currently works is that no matter what, it will be removed at the end. How does it work for the future?
In regarding to the I never heard from CV players who would be happily have limited radio range instead of the rework. Honestly, I have played carriers for a little while. I would say no. Hey, Grumpy Beard, what's up, man? You're doing well, mate.
I'm gonna finish CV in 10 minutes.
I don't mind being admitting I'm a CV. I'm a CV main or sub main. How you going, Grumpy Beard? Good to see you, mate. But in all seriousness though, guys, I mean, like, it's good to see you, Grumpy Beard. Hope you're doing well, man. But in this seriousness though, about the mechanics for the carrier, it leaves a lot left to be desired. It really is. How you going, Grumpy Beard? Hope you're doing well. Sending Grumpy Beard loves and hugs and beard hugs and everything to you all and your family. Hope you're doing well, man.
How do we judge whether this content might come back or it's not going to come back?
We will, of course, once we remove these ships, we will reflect on the entire experience from start to finish, and we'll see the feedback.
But, I mean, they did say in all that this game is designed for more people who play it a lot more compared to just casual players, but they do want to bring in the whole thing about the casual players and try and find a way to fix that, so there's like catch-up mechanics and stuff like that.
Well, the problem is that what we all face in this game is that that not in World of Tanks, it took them a very long time to balance things out. But the thing is that the feedback that they were being given and whatever they had to go through, it took them a very long time to find out everything. But the problem is that in World of Warships, what I feel at the moment is that we're getting more and more diversity of ships and things like that in there, and everything is like all over the place. It's just like one is super powerful and the rest of it's just like, yeah, okay.
It took Wargaming a long time to actually admit that World War Tanks needed help.
Yes.
And then finally started fixing and realised that the player base was right.
Yeah. Well, they already got feedback from the community. Yeah, I noticed that too, Hog.
Back their performance. If they are received well, there is nothing stopping us from ideating on the concept, improving it in the future, and bringing it back. If not,
it's
we'll
a new hell then. Yeah, hell, I just got
I
here.
have another question actually. From what I understand, they will be treated like any regular ships, meaning that we can bring even balance changes to them while they're released.
Yes, of course, and we will be especially attentive both in the period that they are being tested, and we will ensure that they are in a
Thanks for the
fit
shout
state,
there,
but
Camo.
even after their release, we will apply changes if needed.
It was, let me just comment it like very straightly. This is not just mechanic that we did something and let's test on production. No, it doesn't work like this. So this is fully developed mechanics that we just put in a game and see how they are living in this whole infrastructure. And then we are taking them out, but it's fully developed.
So it follows the same process, the same approach as any new ship that we would bring to the game, right?
Yes.
And when we talk about production, that just means the live server that our players play on, because we do have different test servers where we try these things before our test mechanics. So just to clarify.
Do we have anything else to add about these time-limited mechanics and ships?
No. I hope a lot of you will try it, play it.
Well, I can turn it off if you want, Easy Fan, if you
what will
want.
actually stick around and how we'll adjust this approach for the future.
Okay, then we can actually move to more regular types of content. And I would probably want to start with events. Are there any new events?
Well, since we talked quite a bit about PvP, there will be a new event actually coming to the game, testing a new mechanic, but in a separate event, which actually focuses on respawning. If you got unlucky in the battle and, the enemy seemed to be stronger than you were, and you might have been overwhelmed and your ship was sunk, you actually get a timer. And after the timer is over, your ship will respawn, and you can actually re-enter the battle and continue playing it. Is there like a limitation of how often I can do this?
We'll see. It may be limited, it may be unlimited, but the important thing is the aggressive gameplay that a lot of our players like will now not necessarily have the downside of, sinking early. They will be able to try different tactics on the same ship, ideating over and over again.
Okay. Wait, what?
Re-enter the battle and continue playing it.
Want to start with events? Are there any new events?
Well, since we talked quite a bit about PvP, there will be a new event actually coming to the game, testing a new mechanic, but in a separate event, which actually focuses on respawning. If you got unlucky in the battle and, the enemy seemed to be stronger than you were, and you might have been overwhelmed and your ship is sunk, you will actually get a timer. And after the timer is over, your ship will respawn, and you can actually re-enter the battle and continue playing it. Is there like a limitation of how often I can do this?
We'll see. It may be limited, it may be unlimited, but the important thing is the aggressive gameplay that a lot of our players like will now not necessarily have the downside of, sinking early. They will be able to try different tactics on the same ship, ideating over and over again.
Okay. Alternatively, you can be sniped from across the map.
It's okay. I will recommend this mode to my fellow teammates that try to be, very quickly in the middle of the map.
Okay, jokingly saying, yeah, I can see myself be respawned so many times and abuse the shit out of it and have way too much fun in the game. Easy fit. I'm like, let's just be realistic. I'm like, hang on 1 second.
how many you're going to see the old Emilio's come out and get absolutely demolished and start again and come back?
It's Monday, and I'm trying to think of whether I should get wasted already.
Okay, thank you. So, aircraft carrier and AA rework. What can we share?
Yes, maybe just to recap a little bit. Actually, we've been going through several iterations over the years to improve the carrier gameplay because we see a lot of feedback around this topic. And also from our side, we would like to improve it. And last year...
Who's been negative there, is he fan? So will the bots respawn too? Mate, I'll be honest with you, man. If the bots respawn, we're screwed. If we're gonna have unlimited bots in this game, it's unreal.
Oh, I love that. The bots respawn, so yes.
Luckily, I am drinking water. AC fan. It's okay. We're glad it's a water bottle.
We wanted to try a completely new concept.
That could be one.
The whole concept of the test was about removing the overspotting that we have in the game through different mechanics.
Here we go.
Also addressing strength of AA and the kind of tools you have to, defend yourself against AA, but also providing new interesting gameplay, for example, for carrier players like manual secondaries that we introduced. And while we got actually quite a few questions the last few months in terms of where does this stand, we've been spending the last few months.
You still think they're doing the CV rework wrong?
And building up to the next test, which is around the corner, actually.
Yeah, I will not share the exact dates yet, but you can expect it in February, and we encourage you to join. But you can expect it in February, and we encourage you to join this test because we do intend to implement CV rework in 2025. So please use this opportunity and actually a big shout out to people who provided feedback.
Yeah, volunteers, community contributors, players. It was really, really helpful. The feedback you provided, and maybe you can recap just the very core of it in terms of the changes we applied and what stays, what we might remove in the next test.
Sure, the very core is addressing spotting. To do that, we'd introduce several modes that a plane does once it takes off the carrier. It's travel mode, recon mode, and attack mode. In travel mode, we want the carrier to be laser focused to get to that target. There's no accidental spotting while you fly over some enemy ships and give them inconvenience of spotting them. No, you just go at full speed with no limits directly to your target. And after that, you can choose to go to one of the two different modes. Either recon, where it's a limited resource, I must say, where you go down and survey your surroundings before attacking, or attack mode, where you go directly into attack. Now, you can choose whether to go into recon or directly into attack, and you can go into attack from recon. Recon is obviously more advantageous, but it's a limited resource, which we won't give a lot of. Now, moving on to what actual changes we want to introduce. Obviously, I want to say that the skeleton was liked. We consider it successful, and we want to continue ideating out, improving it, and adding new features. But a very important removal from it will be the removal of the blinding mechanic, where surface ships could, by certain actions, blind the planes that were coming into an attack. From the feedback we got, it was very unintuitive and extremely disorienting. So we'll try to do the same, but in a more player-friendly way. So that does not mean that we're weakening AA, of course not.
Do we have anything like how we're going to improve, for example, AA as kind of like a different improvement?
Wow.
Yeah.
So chat, how's everyone going? Well,
so chat, we're opening the bar. All therapy sessions are going to cost you about $5 a shot.
I think I need Hoghammer and the rest of you lovely viewers out there who are jumping into the stream right now. I think I need a big massage and also a few shots of any liquor or strong beverages, and on top of it, send me to the Bahamas, and then I can call it a day. Boy, okay. I'm still trying to wrap my head around this.
First of all, it will be an improvement to priority sector, where currently on our light servers you can improve the AA of half your ship at a certain point. Now, by clicking a certain button for a certain time, you can improve the entirety of
It is a hard one.
And additionally to that, we also, in the past playtests, introduced automatic AA, which is basically, it charges up your AA that becomes much stronger as you get more and more harassed by the player. And we want to improve this even more. Furthermore, we'll be adding new tools that were not present in the past. We will be adding a new consumable that will...
Do you get me?
Not 100% sure about that one, First Fruit. There's World of Warships, and there's actually a different game out there as well. And also there's Task Force 1942 and a few others out there. There's a few out there. There's a few out there. Unfortunately, there's not as many warship gameplay games out there as a variety, unfortunately.
Oh, war is a good suggestion.
Will be directly reducing damage from carrier armaments.
Wow.
Tell us all about the commanders.
Yes, obviously, a rework of this magnitude cannot come without changing the integral part of commander skills. So I cannot tell you when exactly it will come, but carrier skills will be changed. And, of course, other classes also have AA skills. They will also be looked at.
You said that we are removing
Actually, I wouldn't mind the commander skills to be adjusted there.
Planes from spotting ships and doing something similar. I just want to clarify that these mechanics actually removed for now, and we are not using it in the whole AA rework.
Yes, but it may come back if we find a better use for it.
I'm cool with that.
Okay, that's great.
I'm cool with that. I like the sound of that. That's great. I love that.
Everyone loved them. We loved them.
Hey, Wargaming, give us tabletop battleship, please. Thanks. I'll sit there and play it for hours.
Speedometer, yes. So as you can see, I hope you can see that, we took a lot of the feedback from the player base, tried to integrate it, and then, hopefully be, able to bring this to the game very, very soon.
And I know there are two additional improvements that we're thinking about concerning AA mechanics and bubbles.
Yes, first of all, AA mechanics. We want to give something to the carrier players as well. We're
not sure about the other ones,
adding a new mechanic that will allow planes to dodge AA for a certain chance, which will basically give you a small chance to, for a very limited portion of time, avoid overwhelming AA. As for the bubbles improvements, all I can say is we are considering significantly changing the system, but can't go into details.
One of the changes that we're actually applying, when we talk about spotting, is that patrol fighters will not be able to spot.
That is true. It was a change that we introduced midway into this previous playtest, actually, and it was really well received, and we decided to stick with it. So, just to recap, all secondary aviation, such as fighters, airstrikes, and everything of the sort, will stop spotting.
Exciting.
I think we're done with the majority of PvP-related stuff, but there is another big part of our core gameplay, PvE. And as you've mentioned already, we're going hard with PvE this year.
Yes, outside of what we already discussed in terms of classified documents and operations with flagships that you already currently have access to, we're also going to bring in 14.4 actually convoys to operations. We can play operations on the convoy maps. And something that we actually saw in 2024 that worked really well as well with the additional operations that we brought to the game, be it D-Day or the Star Trek operations that were
airstrikes don't do it.
Part of how that worked was you had a different set, like a pool of secondary tasks that would be randomized so that there's more variety.
What are you thinking, Tazzie? Yeah, it sounds like your mind is completely mush, dude.
At least they're finally acknowledging the PvE aspect.
Yes, that's true.
For replayability.
For so long, it was just co-op, and then we had operations. And we got
within
this,
PvE. And this is actually something that
permanent
will
game
be
mode
also
model,
introduced
which you co-op
for
basically.
these convoys. They will be available in operations, and later on we'll bring it.
Well, the funny thing is, though, that I actually did remember doing a YouTube video about and regarding to should asymmetric battles be the new thing. There you go, TSV.
Coming for them.
I actually said, like, would operations be the new thing? For asymmetric battles should be the new thing for co-op mode, and apparently due to the review made on YouTube and everything that came on there, a lot of people preferred the co-op mode rather than the asymmetric battles. It was an interesting, how do I put it? It was so interesting that it got me bugged in terms of like the actual outcome of it, what it should be. I mean, like, I have to say that a lot of people were just saying like, yes, it should be the new thing, but a lot of people were saying, no, don't do it, you know, that kind of thing. It's just like a very you know, very interesting, you know, outcome response. I mean, like, let's just look at this real quick. I mean, like, here we go. Okay, so this video here, I mean, like, I will admit, I mean, like, out of 11 likes, this is a very good, you know, video I've done, I have to say. Out of 11 likes that I've done, I mean, like, I had some interesting responses to people saying about asymmetric battles. So, like, no, there's one person said, no, I play asymmetrics and operations fairly regularly, but I also like co-op in a good way to practice with the ship. Yeah, that's it. And there's also times that the Olympic players are on. I just want a quick game without having to wait several minutes. Now that is actually fair. That statement's actually fair.
That can be fixed. That's no drama.
Yeah. Okay. Here's another one. True words. Thanks, Dad. No worries. Moving on. It should be replaced co-op, but it should be a regular mode. Unfortunately, it pays out too well. These companies thrive on PvP selling content, and limited payouts for PvE modes conflict and imbalance sell.
I disagree.
Yeah, that's a bit interesting there. Here's a good one. I like asymmetric battles, but again, Wargaming lowered the rewards again by 25%, then percentages, so it's not really better anymore. I swear, same thing they did with operations. The bots are so strong now that they lose more battles. I used to win 95% of my battles in ops, now I lose 30 to 35% of my battles. The bots are really strong now, and rewards are effing crap now, 30% rewards, and most people can't handle them anymore, and they're losing blue boosters and are more worthless. But it's a win-win for Wargaming, and for new players, you're screwed. I've been playing for years, have almost 12,000 hours on Steam. Jeez, that's a long time. And have all the ships there on 40. Even the Christmas crates were worse this time around. I mean, like, wow, that's a fair statement right there. And it's like, definitely not. No one with any common sense plays randoms or co-op anyway. That is unreal.
That's like, Having the bots much more stronger, I think, is great.
I don't know. It's like I don't mind the bots were stronger or challenging though.
The tier 10 bots are great challenge. I love them. It's good fun.
Yeah.
To regular operations as well, so that there is more fun and more variety.
We know our operations audience is very, very passionate about them, and they know all the ins and outs of them. So we just want to introduce a bit more replayability, so to give them a bit more things to go back to.
Okay, I think we're actually done with the core part of this little presentation, and it's now time to move to the next one. And I need the help of Stacy to actually explain it. We call it, well, not me, but they call it with a very scary with a very scary word.
Well, it's the internal way how we refer to either teams or how certain things work in the game, right? And since we have this format where we talk a little bit more in details about it or give context, what is core? What is meta? What is
Let's say in terms of terms, core is everything we call what happens inside the battle. So all the actions, all taking points and all the stuff. But everything what is outside of the battle, I mean, in the port, in the armory, in the dockyard, in missions, it's all about, which is called meta gameplay. And we do have a line where it all starts. So, but for simplicity, if it's in a battle, it's core. If it's outside of the battle, it's meta.
Yes, I mean, we have some really cool things planned for, especially players who like to play the game a lot and maybe want to compare themselves against other players, right?
I know you like it. Come on, shoot. Tell
Why don't we split it? So what are we going to introduce for these players?
Basically, we want to, let's say, revisit the feature that also is one of the game of wargaming, is World of Tanks. We want to introduce the mastery badges back into the game in our own way, how we see it. And also there will be another second one feature. It's mastery ranks, which is about getting more, playing constantly on all of your fleet.
Yeah, if you want to separate it a bit, so we have mastery badges, we have marks of excellence. The mastery badges are based on your performance, based on XP in the battle. That is compared against an average of players, and depending on how you are, you get mastery badges, right? While marks of excellence, which will come at a later point. First, we will start with the mastery badges before we actually bring the marks of excellence. That will be focused on.
This is what I don't get. This is what I don't get. Why are you introducing these new marks of excellence and other things, and you're not getting anything good out of it? That's the thing I don't get it. I just don't understand it.
We have to show consistently, how good you play the game, and you can basically level them up, right?
And actually, I want to see how streamers get of that.
I think this will be the highlight.
Yes, I really wish to see, because I am watching actually a lot of our CC and.
MOE and Master Badges remind you of anything relevant? Okay, I'm going to say this. World of Warcraft, World of Tanks, and a few other different MMOs. I can probably name 5. I mean, like, it's... and that's how I'm feeling. I mean, like, I will be honest, if you were a master of something, master of something in those MMOs, you would get some sort of reward. But yeah.
Sir, Dominion ships
warping in. What's up, buddy?
Sweet mother mercy. About time we kick this revolution into overdrive.
Do you get me?
Welcome, Swiss Pipeline. Welcome, Weapons Taken.
We're coming for them.
Man. Always extreme, guys.
Getting late.
Have a good one, Tazzie. Get some rest. Thanks for joining.
This is going to have another go. Oh, dear Lord.
It will be really exciting for me.
Master of
Yes,
Tokens,
maybe we could even talk a little bit about behind the scenes. We did actually have a CC Summit.
Yes,
a few months ago, and we shared a bit of info under NDA with our.
To be fair, I love the audio mastery. I feel they need to be able to come out with something
absolutely amazing. So I hope that will be something really cool, especially for a player who might have reached a certain point in the game where it's really about more the competition part instead of unlocking new content and exploring the game, that you have that extra layer of, okay, let's see, who's the best.
Yes, speaking about the shipping time, because we're speaking about timeline here. The first one we do plan to have around spring or early summer, and second one summer, early autumn, so somewhere there. You can expect it to have it on production.
Amazing.
Feel free to jump into the giveaway, guys. We've got 5 warships to give away too as well towards the end of the stream, so jump in.
Specifically the enemy destruction effect. And I know that we will probably continue to add more of them.
Yes, we will. Also, some info about that. Regarding the customization, we do have now permanent camouflages as the opportunity to customize your ship, but it's like the full set, the full ship is covered. And also, we, introduced the enemy ship destruction, from which we saw actually a very positive response regarding that. Oh, I can now customize my experience. How do I play a game?
I see ships pop.
The ship is bubbling, yes. And so we saw here opportunity of creating fun and also opportunity to customize your ship more detailed. So that's why we do expect in 2025 in general to deliver, let's call it, assets of customization that will be not only through common thing that you have already seen in the game, but something new as well.
Oh, that sounds very exciting.
Yeah, I think, right. The art department is the same in the game, but
after all this time, World of Warships.
I stand by that statement so far.
Not like in the entirety, but actually special parts of it. Sounds like a very exciting
lipstick on
change how to be able to make your ship look more like you.
And when I'm speaking about sets specifically, because we also know that there might be sets of some historical battles or historical events, and you can connect your fleet and use it.
I love the teaser.
Yes, it would be giving more opportunity to actually recreate something in your mind that you would love to see in your port.
So it's a big change actually, and this is why we'll have to do it step by step.
Yes, it's definitely will be delivered partially. We have a final vision what we want, but it will be done step by small pieces. And I would say even the end of the all full feature would be even in 26. So in 25 we will only start because it needs to touch a lot of parts of the game, and basically some systems even to be touched.
And I mean, we can maybe talk a bit about since we're here and it's a cozy setting. It's something that we've been working on for a very long time because in the past we were not able to make any such customization changes based on the way the eco works, tied camouflages to ships. So it's great that while it took a long time, it's a long path to get here. Really long
looking
time.
At both sides,
yes, it's been a painful path, many years. But it's great that now we're getting closer to that.
Yes, and I'm very excited for that because this was a very long way, not in terms of publicity, but in terms of how we very gradually, step by step, did that.
Okay, that's actually amazing. I learned something here. I know that Stacy knows everything about Event Plus and is willing to share some information.
I can share about it some info, very partially, because first of all, this is a very big decision in terms of, let's say, a vision, that how we do see layers of engagement for different type of players. You may know, and you have seen in production, that we did experiments with event passes and basically turned it on from something which is shipped version, something which is shipped by some events in the version, connecting, and all of the stuff. And also you may see that we more turned it to more casual players, so it's become easier.
Yeah, true.
And we see actually here an opportunity through that type of feature to introduce midterm goals and to focus more on casual players. Mate. Why? Because we want to create a safe ground where if you play, for example, just on weekends, or once in a month, you will come up and you will have the same progression somewhere where you can still continue. So that's why we're thinking about to actually make it 3 months long, 2 months long. So longer periods than just one version, because version can be 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and it's basically controllable by development cycle rather than the will of the player, how much he wants to spend on it.
So when we say that it's catering a bit more to casual players, there's no downside for a very active player because you will just progress, as you play. But we want to give players a chance who don't play as, consistently, as regularly, to still have
Swiss
the feeling
Butler.
of progress and expand it to midterm. While if you're a very active player, there's so many different things that you can interact with, right?
We'll run fast through that, and yes, there are all other bunch of different events that are happening all the time in our game that you can stick to if you're active.
Yes, and it's going to be actually quite a big update, right? To event passes, not just the duration.
It's not just a duration, and even though right now I cannot call it directly event pass because it will have different name, and it's very important to understand that it will be different type of naming, different type of, let's say, visual even. But now it's safe to say, to be on the common ground, that this is what we will do with that feature specifically.
Okay, so hopefully this will be perceived as something good, because we are literally changing the whole concept.
Yes, we are getting it more for midterm, more for longer for you to engage with. And if you're a casual player, somewhere where you can stick to, like, from patch to patch.
Okay,
wow.
Great. And to the topic of historical stuff. This is very closely tied to
this is up your alley,
Tazzie, I will
Tazzie.
have to ask you more questions.
Okay, it's fine.
Historical
First
content.
of all,
What do you really think about
I would love to
this?
say that we will not only do some meta stuff that we now
judge it till I see
introduced
it.
to the world, we also will keep up on releasing historical ships.
Sounds right. Yeah.
And that ships we want to transfer differently. For
Good to see you, Swiss
example,
Butler.
the
Go
Blue
ahead,
Her,
do well,
we will
bud.
have as a dockyard ship, and we want to do a historical dockyard.
Oh,
And
yeah.
also, besides of
Yeah, that's
that,
true, MTN. I like that idea.
Another
Nice
historical
one.
dockyard.
we
After
will,
weekend, right?
don't spoil, please.
Can we maybe tease a bit? Can we let people guess?
No,
No.
no.
I tried, chat. I tried.
Like, my dear,
Try
you
harder,
could try to,
Chrysanthos.
like,
I have them here. I will extract
Yes.
as much as I can.
it's not pre-recorded text. You like it, like, basically
Oh, the
taking
agony.
it
I want to
out of the
know.
zone.
But if we think back in terms of when we describe the goals that we have, or the path we want to follow, right, with historical content, we saw that it was very popular. We know, our game is
Yes.
about history, right? But last year we had ships like Rodney, we brought Wisconsin,
Yes.
and we want to keep going that direction also with
I
the
like
And
the-
you see
I like
positive
that
response of
choice.
that, and that's
Prince of
why
Wales,
in
but
the
is it?
events that we do see as main, we will try to keep up more history. Like, for example, you may see the Web Adventure Battle of Leyte Gulf or Web Adventure Battle of Yavor Sea. It was just an event.
Which is pretty
but
cool,
such kind
yeah.
of type of events we could have put as main event of the version and wrap around a different bunch of other activities. And for example, Dockyard is one of them, which is good to stick to. And also,
New Jersey,
we are
yeah.
thinking not only just do big events, always grand, but even in a small pieces of content, for example, like skins, where we can introduce some history. We would love to do that. As an example, actually, for that Blue Her that we spoke about, we will have the special theme skin, not just the simple as we usually have, and it will be more like from the bottom of the ocean, because if you were,
I like
if we
to have
are
the dockyard a
remembering,
little bit
the Blue
easier
Her,
this time around for everyone,
had some
because
accidents,
it
let's
just
call it
seems
like
a bit
this.
too intense to get there.
No, but it's great. So basically, the philosophy is we try to identify more opportunities where we can bring historical content. We will, of course, still, we're not gonna get rid of,
Yes.
players.
Yeah,
waifus,
Wisconsin was historical,
anime
but the
content.
funny button
Because,
was not
it's also a
historical.
pillar
What was
of a
the funny
product,
button
but from different
supposed to be, though,
perspective.
for the
The point
Wisconsin?
is, of course, we do not refuse from collaborations like Waterline.
Yay, more
it
Fletch
will
class
be in the
destroyers.
game, but in terms
knock
of
them.
what we do put like on the front, it will be more to history oriented. And it was to say, if we will add something, let's go anime-like, we will try to balance it with something history-like at the same time, for you to choose based on what basically you would love to play. So that's the
Fancy to
vision.
design,
Okay, there is a lot
hashtag we
of stuff
love
to unwrap here,
painting our
actually.
ships better.
Okay, the most burning question: collaborations. You've told us that the anime girls will stay, and we will maybe get
Okay.
either old ones, maybe new ones. But will we get any new IPs?
This year, we do consider that we don't want to include new IPs in our game, but we can reintroduce the old
I like
ones that
weeb
we-
ships, though.
Okay, I know that
I
another
like anime ships. I
adventure
like
is in
anime
development.
in
Can
general,
you tell us
but
about
man,
it?
it's like...
We do have, actually, based on the topic of history, right, for Battle of Narvik. Dunkirk.
Yes.
We're actually using also the topic of history to
Yes,
bring
of
interest.
course, because 2025 is full of anniversaries, like history,
Yes,
by
yes.
coincidence.
80
it's
years
of course,
everywhere.
yes, it's 80 years everywhere, and we want basically to have it more in our game because this is like the best, the thing that we can get, and that's why yes, you can also observe in the late spring beginning of summer, the web adventures that you mentioned, the Battle of Narvik and Dunkirk. It will be 2 parts connected adventure in which, of course, you can expect the same type of event that you get used to see, but we want also, especially in the second part, in Dunkirk one, to introduce new meta gameplay and that's now it gets hard. It will be a new type of a gameplay that we will have themed to the Dunkirk, and it purely will be experiment. So we will try to see what kind of other engagement we can provide for the players, and if we will see a positive feedback, we might also return it as a different type of event as well.
Stacy, is it like PvE or PvP activity?
It will be PvE.
PvE.
Yes, because we also want to create an experience that you are exploring something, that you are in the story.
And since it's meta, it means that it's outside of the game?
Yes.
Okay.
Outside of the main battle.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, outside of battles. I guess I finally remembered what I wanted to ask. Since you mentioned dockyards and new ships, I also think it's worth mentioning that the old ships are going back to the game. Specifically, Zavan will be added in 14.1.
You see him probably seeing, yeah,
there's
good
one
ship
more
though.
ship.
I mean, in general, what we can say, right? First of all,
Story mode
dockyard
for World of Warships.
similar
I
to other
actually had
ships that
reservations
have been
about
available
that,
for
but I hope
special
it's a good
events
one.
like Itakami through Salvage for Victory. We always take a very careful approach because we know that players spend either a lot of time, resources, or potentially money on it to get access to these ships. So we don't just re-release them, after like 3 months, 6 months, but we usually take a different approach. Here we talk about the Seven Provincien and our German, always, German. Us as a German, we Germans, we love to have creative names. So this one is one of the nice ZF6.
I think this, the main part of the presentation is actually done. And now it's time to talk about the features we would like to implement in the future and really want to. But the timeline is a bit murky.
Well, I mean, since we just talked about, the historical aspect of the game, something that we can tease already to a certain degree, right? Is that
I see why you are now here.
In summer, we might have actually like a patch
Yes.
dedicated, right?
Yes,
To history.
we do want to create a special dedicated patch for basically end of World War II. And it will be around middle of August till end of August, beginning of September, somewhere there.
Cox is around
There'll be
that time
a special
as well
theme
too, I
patch
just
dedicated
realised.
only for this basically
That's
big
gonna be
historical
tricky.
stuff that happened. I cannot say a lot of details now because we're a lot of putting effort in that, and especially we put a lot of efforts also for our anniversary. Yes, and I will tease you a little bit there. We want to deliver you something that
The
you would
Odin
love
and
to
the,
see. Something special.
Very
Very special.
Well, it's 10 years.
American Cruiser or something.
It's a good time to
It's big and
celebrate.
mysterious. Oh
Hey,
my
Chris.
gosh.
Yeah.
Mysterious.
But yeah, if we, talking about things that might not appear on the horizon that we are talking about right now, like kind of up to midsummer, end of summer, there are of course some things that we have on our list or we know that our players are asking for a lot and we would like to address. I'll take maybe something that I know that especially a lot of the players that are watching will be very happy to hear that
The transcript.
we do plan to actually develop low-tier operations, specifically with the intention to create tutorials so that players have an easier time to learn core mechanics, to get easier path into the game and grasp it faster. Or even if there's a player who might be simply more interested in PvE than PvP, that he has a more consistent experience from starting the game to be able to actually make it to operations.
In terms of player paths, you're right, even though we are very deeply looking at how players perceive our game, and this is also reflecting into the event paths that we are mentioned, and it's mentioned how players start the game, because the game is, again, big, developed a lot, and we want, open step by step that World of Warships, actually. Yes, and also speaking about high-tier ships.
Hey, Spade, what's up, man?
Let's keep it to low tier for now, because we spoke about low tier operations. It does not end at that. We also plan, while operations may happen later.
That's the idea.
There will be balance changes. We plan to implement some targeted balance changes throughout tiers 2 to 5 to significantly improve the fluidity and quality of the gameplay, because we noticed the problem of
how you teach
players
people,
falling off a cliff in terms of how hard the gameplay is, because everyone can go onto the tier 2 cruiser and see their shells fly into space and then go down. We want the gameplay to reflect a bit more closely to what they will see once they go up to 5, 6 and above. We will just do some quality of life comfort changes to improve the fluidity of the gameplay.
Okay, but can we now get to high tier stuff? Before that, there's one word, 3 letters.
Let's pretend it's maps.
Fair enough.
Oh, maps, yes.
We want to address the elephant in the room, because we know there's a big demand for new maps. Maybe you can give a bit of
I will put it like this, to be very transparent in why and how. So, first of all, we saw and we see the demand. And we also want to create a new map. But in terms of production cycle, in terms of, let's say, effort, we are looking forward really to make it, and we are constantly discussing it. And we are thinking about it maybe closely till the end of 2025 or even in 2026.
We just want to be realistic, right? In terms of expectations, that it's not like we don't want to create new maps, but realistically speaking,
we want. It's just
you
not
can
so
expect them at more like towards 2026 than in 2025.
Yes,
right?
it is there, to be honest, more closely. But we are now, when we are shooting this video, have this type of a context. But maybe after some time, the context, might be changed and it might become closer or far. It depends.
But it's not all that bleak. Of course, eventually we'll get a new map, but our team has also identified several issues with current maps, and there are actually, before we get to the new map, there are plans to implement some sort of changes to existing ones, especially those where higher tier ships play. This will both let our team get back into the game after so many years without new maps. They will get more experience and a refresher on what they did in the past.
We definitely need more diversity.
Bring us new variety, not necessarily with a new map,
needs to be implemented soon.
Okay, cool. I want to ask about brawls. I know that we use them as an experimental field too, in a way. Any updates?
Of course.
I have to get a paddling. Wait for it, Dragon. I need to get my canoe or jet ski.
The way we add variety to them is the number of players, the number of tiers, and the classes we allow in them. We want to expand that system significantly. We want to add global modifiers. And players who have played various Halloween patches in the past know what it is. Right. Every ship that enters this mode, a modifier will be applied to. You want vampirism, you've had it. You want super speed, hyper speed, you can have it. I can't say it will be that experimental from the start, but we will try different things and make it interesting.
Generally, it will be like real field of experiments, like in a small scale, because also the maps are small. So you will be faster and more fun having at the moment once something global is added on that world.
Yeah, but I think it's also what a lot of people, players, me as well, enjoyed so much about Brawls, that it is a bit disconnected from, the serious random battles, clan battles, even PvE. Did you get to have a more just pure fun focused experience? And it's great that we actually get to try some crazier stuff.
Soon. Yep. So I have another pretty good news for PvE players. As Stacey already mentioned, we want to give you more ways to play the ships that you have, but there is also another thing that will get a similar treatment.
So we are thinking about what we can do with legendary commanders, specifically for PvE, because right now, legendary commanders do not really make a difference,
Yeah, this is true. The legendary commanders don't do much in the game at the moment these days.
Yes, we can tease because at least we are, have now concept of which we're constantly looking at it, and that's why actually you know about it because we spoke. And the point is that yes, we have such kind of entity in our game, legendary commanders, and they do influence on some modes, and they do not influence on one of the places where we want to focus on in 2025. So yes, we are thinking of putting legendary commanders in a niche of operations. But we are now discussing a lot of tools how to make it. It's definitely our desire, and that's why we don't have selected time slot where we want to implement it, but we are very deeply thinking about it because it would be very cool that your Cincinnati can be used not only in ranks or.
And we will have to see how we will actually do it because PvE is a different playing ground because we don't have to consider necessarily the balancing factor that we have in PvP-driven modes. So more information will follow in terms of how we actually is it the same skills?
This is something work in progress.
Let's say how. Let's put it in an article way. Like we will tell more info once we will get that because again a lot of concepts now are around. And I don't want to give promises which are now actually, we are checking what we want to do. But what I can say, addressing what you have said, in terms of philosophy, how we are looking on PvE, all of that stuff, is that this is, yes, a playground where we can give a player different toys and basically have some crazy stuff if he wants to, via different tools. And it can be done by legendary commanders, by some other ships. It's only now we're discussing the tools, and that's why when you said I have like a list in my mind. So, and we are very deeply discussing what we want to add, and again, it will be partially added through the timeline because we right now spoke so many stuff about what we want to add in PvE, and it also needs to be first touched. We will look at it, take some feedback from the player base, and then
that is very
adapt.
true, MTN.
So yeah.
But again, I mean, this is why in this, setting that we have here, we want to share a bit like where we see certain things going in terms
Actually,
of
I did like both
player.
of those maps.
I might be a player who's more into competitive
I
stuff.
just
I might be a
hope to
player
see more
who's more
of it,
interested
more
in
new maps
historical
in the
stuff.
game, but
the kind
more
of
diversity.
priorities and guidelines
With
that we have for
storms and
ourselves,
cyclones and different wave effects.
Future, and I hope that you find this very insightful and tell us whether you like this.
Nighttime battles would be good too.
And actually, yes, it will be very, very inspiring to hear the comments about such kind of format because
we don't have really a nighttime battle game, really.
Basically, what we have now said will be in the internet now, and when I will look at it, looking at some game designer documents, will be like, we said actually this, so we have to do it now like this.
Afterwards.
No, we will have to do this because the promise is the best important thing that we need to keep on, and we are transparent. And that's why, being transparent, yes, we want to add.
Look, while we are transparent, we want to be very transparent that, of course, everything that we've shared here is work in progress. We want you to understand what we're working on. The reality of game development is that certain things might not work out.
Yeah, it always does.
Might
game
be changed,
always has like that.
Pushed. But this is our intention, and this is
what we feel. The world can go crazy, at the moment.
Yes, it's a crazy world, and we hope that you understand this. I always want to give this disclaimer that
you can't handle it anymore. That's why I buy blue light lens glasses there, AT-scope.
And another topic on our agenda.
Oh, check tree ships.
Tree ship branches.
Oh my god!
This is we talked about this was usually one of the big topics, right? We had in Waterline videos, and we almost skipped over new ships.
So it will be a reward for those who stayed.
Yes, that's actually great. Like if you stuck around until this point, now you get to hear about.
Come on, it will be on Reddit in 5 minutes. Like they will ship this meme of the day. I'm sure that some of our photos will be like, that's what he said about this, and then the mechanics. So
it does,
definitely. But so we can say something.
Sure. A line that will be coming in the near future is the second branch of American destroyers. It will have a good number of ships. Their features will be a slightly higher caliber than is usual for American destroyers because of their signature 127mm gun. They will have access, most likely, to semi-armor PC ammunition.
Oh, sad.
And they will have a new, completely unique smoke feature. I will not go into details. That is all I can share for now. But no, they will have a cool, unique smoke. Trust me, it'll be cool. That also has some drawbacks, so they will have subpar concealment, not very impressive speed, but in general we expect this to be a fun line for those people who like hybrid and gunboat destroyers. There is another line, however.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, that T3H5 Wolf.
Yes. Stacey, do you want?
We will make it not as a big announcement, but it will be...
We're not? Not now.
Not now. Because, we are already like half of the year covered here. And I would love to say that we want to ship also another line after the American destroyers on our birthday. And it will be heavy cruisers.
Heavy or?
Heavy, maybe larger.
Maybe larger.
Yes, it will be large cruisers. Yes. We don't want to share more details. Yes, first of all, to keep some, secrets, spicy. Yes.
For the next episode.
Yeah, but maybe for the next episode, if you like it.
I will just say I'm extremely hyped about it. The ships.
Look at
what they
your
could
eyes.
have.
Oh my God.
And you will just have to stick around and find out what might come after the second branch of USDDC.
I don't know, chat can probably read from your eyes the intention.
Well, you can tell me how well you know me. We will see.
I think we've covered this very small, not very important topic that we totally did not miss.
Totally not. It's a great point to wrap up. Exactly, not scripted.
Thank you guys for joining. That was quite enlightening. I hope you guys also enjoyed this episode of our new format.
We share a lot of information. A lot of the upcoming things you will always be able to read ahead of time before it comes to the game on our dev blogs. So make sure to check them out. You can always get, the latest news there. And otherwise, of course, everything that we discussed here, we will share in detail how this will look like closer to the actual release with dedicated articles, videos, streams.
That's it for today. And hope to see you soon with more updates.
It gave me more headaches.
Good job.
Wow. That was unreal, man. I have to say though that if they had heavy cruisers, there'll be a different story too as well. And other things of the game, and stuff like that, man. It's just like, wow. I mean, like, I will be honest though, folks. I mean, like, this is just crazy with the amount of information in here and everything.
Oh, there's so much.
So basically, what I encourage you all to do, chat, is that when you look at everything that's in here on this Waterline first half of 2025 video, really take it with this a bit of a grain of salt. So basically, whatever you see and hear today in terms of the video, it can be very different to tomorrow or the future of the game itself, and it's always like different when you get into the different perspective. In game design and even in games creation, it always can subject to change. They got this idea, but are they going to actually fall through with it? It's really, like a bit of a touch wood experiment. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting though. I just don't understand, like, with these certificates to begin with, I mean, like, yeah, it's just like a bit hard to tell about this container and stuff like that as well at the moment, all these choices and everything. Operations with flagships is actually very good. I mean, like, a lot of people have mixed feelings for it. But, like, these experimental warships that they're talking about, the Meth, the Yaza, and also the Oregon, I mean, like, very interesting choices. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
Yeah, exactly, Hog. The master badges and marks of excellence, I swear, I mean, like, if there was something good out of it, in terms of reward out of it, there had to be something decent. But the way I'm led to believe, there's nothing except some fancy-ass title. Or recognition.
I think it's time to wrap this show up, mate.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly don't know why I honestly understand why Wolfpack was removed from the game, because not many people did play it, but maybe they can introduce Wolfpack as like a random event. With that being said though, folks, I mean, like, that's very interesting. We'll see how it goes in the future, but it's really hard to tell right now. Okay, so thanks guys for joining in for the Waterline video part and whatnot, sharing your feedback and views on this. But it's giveaway time, shall we?